Hi, welcome once again to my YouTube install video tutorial. I'm Chioma Muso, I'm also known as Chimi. Well, today I'm going to be showing you how to draft the basic skirt block. The basic skirt block is one of my most requested videos. A lot of people have asked me to do this video and I'm super happy and so excited to do this today. I actually did this video. I was supposed to upload this video last week, but I couldn't do that because, you know, the video didn't just come out right, so I decided to repeat it, to do it again. So I hope you love this video. I know you will love it. You know, it is a very quick and easy tutorial. So if you're ready, let's do it. What you need for this tutorial is your pattern paper. So I need the pattern paper. I'm going to be using a yardstick. I'm going to be using my tape measure. I'm going to be using my tape measure. I need scissors. I need my French curve. If you have a hip curve, I mean, that would be very, very good for this tutorial, but I'm using a French curve. And probably you might need a ruler. This is just a clear ruler, so you might need this, and I'm going to be using a marker. So if you're ready, we just get straight to business. Now for your basic bodice pattern, I folded the paper and we were working on a fold. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be using a single paper, no fold. So I'm going to be drafting the front skirt block, and I would use a front block to cut out the back skirt block. So if you're ready, definitely we're going to start right now. But before we begin, I'm just going to say this basic skirt is a one darted skirt. This skirt is going to have a single dart. Some skirts have two darts. They have double darts, you know, on each side, on each panel, you know. So altogether, if you're having double darts on each side, you end up having about 8 darts on the skirt, like both on the front and the back panel. But for this tutorial, I'm going to be constructing this block on a single dart. For the double dart, if you have a hip that is larger than your waist, up to about 10 and more inches, then you can go for the double dart. It's preferable to go for the double dart because your hip is very large, you know, compared to your waist. It's for people that are very curvy, you know, those that have like a very big curve, like have a figure 8 kind of shape. It's more advisable to use the double dart when you have that kind of figure. But if you're just a regular person and you're not so curvy, you can use a single dart for your skirt block. So I'm going to show you how to achieve that. And the measurements you need for your skirt block are very simple measurements. You need the length of your skirt, and you need also the circumference of your waist, and then the circumference of your hip. So basically, these are the measurements you need for your skirt block. So for the length of my skirt, I'm going to go ahead and measure the length here. So I want my skirt to be about 25 inches. I don't know if you can see that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and measure my skirt here. I want the length to be about 25 inches. So I'm going to take my marker and just mark here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead right now to measure the circumference of my body, and I'm going to start from here, the top here. For my waist measurement, my waist is 32 inches. Now when you divide 32 by 4, I'm going to go ahead and mark 8 inches here. This is my 8 inches here, and then I'm going to add 1 inch of ease. So I have 2 dots here. Now I'm going to come down and mark my hip inch, my hip marking, and mark my hip measurement. So I'm going to come down from the waist measurement. From the waist measurement, your hip measurement is about 8 to 9 inches from the waist measurement, depending on your size. So I'm going to be using 8 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead to mark 8 inches down. So this is where my hip marking is going to start. So from that point, I'll just mark my hip circumference. My hip is 40. When you divide it by 4, you get about 10 inches. So from this 10 inches, I'm going to put a dot there, and I'm going to go ahead to mark another dot here for my 1 inch of ease, like I did for the waist. Now I'm going to come down to the mark here where I left as my skirt length measurement, and then I'm going to measure. Now what I'm going to measure here is going to be derived from whatever my hip measurement is. My hip measurement is 10 inches, so I'm going to go ahead to subtract 1.5 inch from this 10 inches. So that's how I'm going to achieve the base here of my skirt. So when you minus 1.5 inch from 10 inches, you get about 8.5 inches. So I'm going to put the mark here where we have 8.5 inches, and I'm going to also add 1 inch for each, so all through, and it's going to be here where I have 9.5 inches. So I'm going to draw the line down here, connect it. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to connect that dot here. All the way here. So if I've done that, this is as simple as ABC, really. It's really simple. I'm going to use my French curve to connect from my hip to my waist, or from my waist to my hip. If you have a hip curve, you can use that. This is okay for me, so I'll connect that one, and I'll also do the same for the other one for ease. Okay, so that's what I've gotten here. That's the curve I got, and I'm going to use my straight yardstick ruler. This is my yardstick, and I'll connect from this point where the hip is to the bottom straight, and I'm going to repeat same for this. If you've achieved that, now you can go ahead to achieve the dot, because that's a single dot I told you about. So we're just doing a single dot. Now for the single dots, you can either divide, you know, the same thing applies for the basic bodice block. I mean, that's the same thing that applies here. I've explained that already in my basic bodice block video, but I'm just going to make a marking here up to 4 inches. I'm going to be using 4 inches as my waist, for my waist dots. That's the same thing I think I use for my basic bodice pattern. Some people call it the bust span, you know, measurement. Some people call it the bust span measurement, or the nipple to nipple measurement, you know. So that is what I've marked here, right here on the waist, to achieve my waist dots. Now from that marking, I'm going to come down. I'm going to come down up to 5 inches. So this is 5-inch mark here, and I'll just draw it, come down by 5 inches here. Then I'm going to go in by ½ an inch on both sides, ½ an inch here and ½ an inch here, and I'm going to connect it. And I'm going to connect this to this as well. So that is it. I hope you can see what it looks like. So that is it for the basic skirt pattern, you know. So you can add your hemming allowance, you know, your seam allowance for hemming down here. You can just come down by 1 inch here, you know. Now when you're coming down by 1 inch here, try to make it straight so that when you hem, you're not going to have any difficulty. So you're just going to connect that like this and connect that like this, and you can draw the line all the way. So you can lower your front block a little bit by coming down here by 1.5 inch. Do you want me to wear your shoe for you? Okay, just give me 1 minute, okay? Just 1 minute. Now if you're coming down by 1.5 inches, you just draw the line from there and connect it down to your waist measurement, so you have something looking like this. So you have something looking like this, you know. You can use a front curve so that it doesn't look so straight and so sharp. You can use a front curve to get the curve on that area as well. You know, it just lowers the front part of your skirt, you know, a little bit down from where your navel is, a little bit down. It lowers it so that your skirt doesn't stay on directly on your stomach. So I just came down by 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to cut this front panel out, and we're going to use this front piece to cut out the back piece. So I just go. Now I'm just going to place my front block here, you know, exactly the same length that I placed it, the back, that I'm going to place the front on the back, and it's going to be definitely exactly the same length from the side here, you know. Make sure it's the same length, exactly the same length from the side, you know. So if you've done that, you also have to make sure that, as you can see, I didn't start placing from the front. Well, I'm just going to cut out this extra so that we don't get confused. I'm going to cut it out so that my paper can be straight. Okay, so from this front, we're going to come down, coming by 2 inches. Now this 2 inches, I'm just going to put the marking there. This 2 inches is for our zip allowance, and definitely also for our slits. For our slits, because except you're using a fabric that is very stretchy, you know, you need to be able to move. So you definitely need slits for your basic skirt block. So I'm just going to come in by 2 inches, which I've already marked here, and I've left the extra 2 inches in front here. So if you've done that, or if I've done that, now that I've done that, I'm just going to use my marker to run, because I want to get exactly the same thing. The front and the back should be the same. Okay. And then I'm going to follow it up to this point, and all the way down. You can use your ruler. Okay, sorry. So I just sketched this, or I just did the same thing I did for the front, and I drew it on the back panel. From this front here, I'm also going to draw, because I want to know where my zip allowance is beginning from. So I'm going to draw a line here to make this point. Okay, so that is it. If you've done that, this is the back piece or the back panel. I'm going to also go ahead to do a dart for this one to connect the dots. Then I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch, same thing as the front, 1/2 inch, and I'll connect it all the way, and do the same for this side. Okay, so this is my back block, and this is my front block. I'll just cut it out as well. I'll cut it out as well. For the front, you can go ahead to determine where you want your slits to stop, and I want mine to be about 6 inches high. So from that marking where I have 6 inches high, I'm going to come in also by 3/4 inch. Okay, so that's the marking there. I'm going to use a longer ruler, my yardstick to. Okay, so it means that my zipper allowance is about 1.5 inch, and I have about 2 inches here. So I'm just going to give a slight curve with my French curve here, so that when I'm sewing my slits, it comes out looking very clean. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the back piece as well. Yay! We're done. So this is my back panel, and this is my front panel. This is your basic skirt block, front and back. And when the both connects, you have something like this. See, front a bit lower, the back has the sleeve. It's not compulsory that you must have the sleeves. If you're working on a stretchy fabric, I mean, you can just make it straight and stitch after your zipper, just stitch it all the way down. But if you're working with a fabric that doesn't stretch, definitely you need a slit because you need to work. So this is how you achieve the basic skirt block. Thank you for watching my video on how you can achieve the basic skirt block. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share this video. You don't know, your family might find it informative, or your friends might find it educative. So do not keep it to yourself. I'll keep uploading videos on how you can achieve so many things by yourself at home, or on how you can sew. Until I come your way next time, have a nice day. Bye bye.